Live Tuesday, July 11th from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. This is Fantasy Dominance Now. Come dominate fantasy sports with us, and bringing you all the tools to dominate is the Soap Stash. It's the new soap standard, so like them on Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. Find them online, soapstash.com. And for ordering information, call 844-890-3197. You'll hear more about Soap Stash throughout the program. Going from the best soap in the business, we are the best fantasy minds in the business. Happy All-Star break, everybody. Good time of year. Gives you a little respite from your fantasy baseball season.
Couple days off.
Thank God, yeah.
Thank you ever so much for joining us. We have the young buck, Mike Kleinkauf.
Here we go.
Sporting the Pirates
The
garb.
Buccos. I got it.
We got rabbit humanitarian and lover of all animals like Ace Ventura, Brian Daley.
That could be misconstrued, but
Ooh.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Ace Ventura.
Absolutely. We got the Shore Bar's bouncer, worst enemy over here, Doug Pitchford.
Oh, you really, you had to throw
That's
that
great.
out there, bro. But yeah, that was so mad, dude. So fucking mad. That was good times though, brother. Good
Yeah,
times.
Absolutely good times. I'm your DFS guru, Rob Povia. Matt Sudi's bringing all the fantasy dominance from the production chair. And if you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search a2dradio.com. If you got fantasy questions, tweet us with the hashtag AskFDN. I'm at RobbieBLTZ. Doug, you are at
Stat Magnet 85. Woo!
Mike, you are at
Mike_Kleinkauf.
Woo! And Brian, you are at
Brian_A2D radio.
Woo! Oh, geez, I was alone on that.
I don't know. He gave me the face, so I'm like, all right, maybe I'll stop.
I'm not wooing.
No matter whose handle you hit, whether it be the stations at A2D_com, at FDN A2D, just hashtag AskFDN. We'll get to your questions live on the show. Or if you're watching us on the replay and it's after the fact, we'll get you all set up to dominate any fantasy league, any DFS league, anywhere. We got your back.
Damn straight.
We have a great show in store for you all with the fantasy football right around the corner. Today we begin to dissect the NFL. I know you're happy about that,
Oh,
Mikey.
of course.
In about 2 weeks or so, we'll be dropping our full comprehensive breakdown for draft season. So we'll just be touching the surface today because we want to.
Yes.
We're also recapping a vivacious home run derby and previewing tonight's All-Star game with home field advantage in a World Series no longer on the line. Will the game go back to being a snooze fest? Well, we'll discuss. Of course, we'll drop some ads and injury news for fantasy baseball. But first, with the All-Star break upon us, it's the perfect time to begin our MLB Power Ranking Series. So we asked you on Facebook and Twitter, who's the number one team in MLB's Power Rankings? We gave a couple options here: Astros, Dodgers, Nationals, or other. Chime in now, vote now. We'll get to the poll results later in the show. You can comment, reply. We'll read them live on air, and we'll hook you up and give you cred. So before we pick our picks, it's been 2 weeks. We had a July 4th in between. How you fellas doing, man? You guys have a happy 4th of July.
Yeah, I worked, got some overtime, and, made some money.
Not bad, not bad. I was pretty drunk in Belmar.
Nice.
I love my 4th of July.
Which bar?
DJs. Come on, man.
I was there a couple of nights ago.
It's having fun at a barbecue, so it's all good.
Definitely. Good times, though, now. Celebrating Independence Day, our nation's birthday. It's good times for all. I was down in the Point Pleasance, the Wildwoods. Definitely getting beach time.
Yeah,
That's
man.
why I'm a little more relaxed this week, a little more chill.
For real.
Little peeling, too, a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, my legs are still peeling from my vacation.
That's one of those things I never have to worry about.
You got that free sunblock.
I got that SPF natural, baby. I love it. I love it. I just get darker though. I've gotten a little bit, got a little darker. Yeah.
Oh man,
I love it.
No
I never
doubt.
have to waste that money on that shit. Or at least until we destroy this planet. Then you know what I mean. Then all bets are off.
Yeah, everybody's frying.
yeah.
Better learn how to swim.
Pretty much.
Oh man, we're gonna become aqua people.
Anytime I get an opportunity to quote Tool, I do it. That's right.
For shame.
But everything else good? Family's good? Holidays all good?
Yeah, man.
Everything's great.
Nice, nice. You know who else it's been really good for in the first half of the season? Houston Astros and Los Angeles Dodgers. You know, I mean, to me, I think it's a two-team race between who's number one here. I mean, Nationals have something to say about that a little bit. I think other teams will, in the second half, have something to say about it. But I want to hear what you all have to say about it. Who are you guys going with? Who would you vote for your number one in your power ranks?
I think that's fairly easy. To me, it's the Dodgers. There's nobody that's playing a more complete game than they are. Top to bottom in the lineup is hitting. Pitchers are doing their thing. They got a good back end of the bullpen. Kenley Jensen, to me, is the best closer in baseball. So, Dodgers easily. They're playing the best.
Dodgers.
I can see the argument. I respect the argument, but that's not true. The Houston Astros, man. Houston Astros are easily the best team in baseball right now. I mean, granted, they don't have Kenley Jansen in the back end, but you know Kevin Giles is pretty good, and those guys in front of Kevin Giles are excellent. You know, Chris Devanowski,
The Peacock.
The Peacock, Brad Peacock,
He's
Will
got
Harris.
7 wins.
He does have 7 wins out the pen. Will Harris is a shutdown hold machine. You know, that rotation's been a little, you know what I mean, patchwork, but even these guys, they're throwing in on the patchwork. Mike Fiers, Charlie Morton. Like, these guys are, you know, producing.
Well, Morton's been out, and as well as Dallas Keuchel, too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're doing it all without them. I mean, Keuchel especially.
You know, David Paulino's coming in, stepping up.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, not anymore, but.
He was, though. He was.
Yeah, he came in,
high
stepped up.
strikeout upside from the kid, absolutely.
I mean, you know, more importantly, he just, you know, he baffled bats enough for those 4 or 5 innings he was out there. You know, but they've been just scrappy team, great lineup, up and down 1 through 9, best lineup in baseball. Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, Doug, and believe me, I went back and forth on this all morning because I woke up this morning being like, I'm prepared to go with the Houston Astros number one. Did not do it. I went with the Dodgers, and you kind of touched upon why. So you got Keuchel. Right? You have McCullers. I have much respect for their game. They're 2 fabulous pitchers, right? Keuchel's health concerns me. Yeah. I've been saying it a couple weeks now. He's been having that neck discomfort, and he had shoulder problems last year. I really feel like the two are interconnected, and I feel that he's going to have a very spotty. You know, I recommend to the people in the Fantasy Minute to try to look to sell high on Keuchel because I just don't think you're going to get as many starts in the second half. I could be wrong because they have taken their time with him bringing him back. I could definitely be wrong. McCullers has been banged up. And then you said patchwork after that.
Yes,
right?
I did say patchwork.
And Fiers has been, hey, a fantasy darling. He's a streaming option delight or what have you. But when that's your number 3, I look over at the Dodgers rotation. I'm not saying that it's that much better, but you got Clayton Kershaw, and he's not even your Cy Young Award candidate on the team, man. Alex Wood has just had an absolutely dynamite season. He's figured things out. So you have those two after that. You've had Brandon McCarthy, who's having a career year. You know, Kenta Maeda. If you gave me a choice between Maeda and Fiers, who both have had, you know, inconsistency issues this year, I'm going Kenta Maeda.
I agree. I mean, but then you look at some of the guys that they still have come on their way back. I mean, you have a Colin McHugh. I'm sorry. I'll take Colin McHugh over Brandon McCarthy any day if you want to match him up start for start. You know, not for nothing, too. I mean, if I can get the best of Alex Wood and the best of Lance McCullers, I'm taking the best of Lance McCullers there. And, I mean, obviously Kershaw for the win. You know, but I don't know. I just see there's so much more talent. And more importantly, they have such a depth of talent. I mean, you have guys like Derek Fisher who you can't even keep on the Major League roster because you have so much depth in your outfield. You have other guys in your farm system that, you know, are literally just stagnated because there's so much, you know, like young talent in front of them. You know, leads me to believe that they're going to be that number one team because they're going to go out and get that additional pitching help that they need. They can go get a Sonny Gray. They can go get a Chris Archer, and it's not even going to put a dent on their depth moving forward.
I know there's been rumors that they've been interested in one Jacob deGrom as well to add to their rotation.
And you know what? If they blow the Mets away, I would do that deal in a heartbeat. But you know that's not going to happen. So
even Justin Verlander, I heard, to Houston too.
Yeah, that's more of a deal that makes a lot more sense. Detroit's a team that really wants to blow it up and kind of start from scratch, so to speak. They got a young ace incoming in Michael Fulmer. It makes a lot more sense there.
Truth. Absolutely true. I mean, I don't think DeGrom's going anywhere. I mean, it would, like you said, you'd have to be blown away, right? And a lot of more pitching prospects, because what we've seen this year is the rest of the Mets staff, higher ERAs and injury prone. You know what I mean? DeGrom, I think, is your one rock solid. I mean, I think Thor will be too when he comes back. Torn lat. I think that's not the beginning of injury woes, but it could be.
It could be. Yeah, very.
Yeah, I think we all hit that nail on the head with, he just hit the gym way too hard in the offseason.
Yeah, no doubt.
As we said before, he really wanted to be Thor.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I mean, what's his name's movie deal's almost up, so.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw featuring Noah Syndergaard, so.
Yeah, but you know what? He can't throw the hammer like a fastball, though. It doesn't work.
He'll figure out a way.
But
no, I mean, going with this, it's definitely a tough debate too, and I like what you're saying, Rob. But I just love the pop of the Houston Astros offense a little more.
It's neck and neck,
and
that's
so
a great
hard,
point too. Yeah.
I mean, you got Springer leading off with 27 home runs.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He's not a leadoff hitter. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. And then Altuve, you got Correa, and the rest of the gang. So it's just. The team is just phenomenal. I
mean, it's comparable. It's definitely comparable, but the edge has got to go to the Stros, man, with that combination of Springer, Altuve, and Correa.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, no disrespect to, Bellinger, but then you have Justin Turner, you know what I mean, he's been
great.
He's a great player.
Absolutely great player.
Yeah.
No disrespect or whatever, but I'm just talking about pedigree-wise.
Yeah.
Jock Peterson measures up pedigree-wise, but hasn't been great. He's been good, not great. Yasiel Puig, good, not great, sometimes sucks. You know what I mean? So definitely the edge to the offense has got to go to the Stros there. Then you look at the bullpen.
Yeah.
Who do you give the edge to in the bullpen, the Stros versus the Dodgers?
I give it to the Stros. Their middle relief is so much better. I mean, granted, yes, the Dodgers obviously have the edge at the closer. That goes without question. But that gap isn't as big as with a lot of other clubs. Ken Giles is a pretty good closer. He's not elite yet, but he's working his way up there.
Yeah.
But the middle relief is what sets them apart. Because I'm sorry, you can beat up the Dodgers middle relief. I can't even think of any of their guys that are even having a great season. Working that 6, 7, 8.
Romo, a little bit, but I mean, he can be touched up too. I mean, it is often a little precarious spot. Bridging it to Jansen. I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then you look at the guy at the back end. I think he certainly, at this point, you got to say he exceeds Ken Giles.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. That goes without question.
Yeah.
But because of that, because when you factor in that middle relief, if a starter gets hurt or if a starter goes short or a rain delay or what have you, Astros are still winning that game. Dodgers, you really don't know.
But I'm going to argue that, though. I saw numbers the other day, and if I'm not mistaken, the Dodgers are 57-0 after leading after 5 innings.
Wow.
So,
I mean, that speaks volumes, man.
I mean, that's the only part I'm going to argue there. I mean, it's like we said throughout the show already. It's such a tough decision. I'm pretty sure it's 51 or 57. I forget what it was, but after 5 innings, they haven't lost a game. So, I mean, that's their pitching is doing it then,
Yeah.
I forgot.
No, the pitching.
I do it all the time, every day.
I mean, their starting pitching's doing it. That's more the thing. Their starters go 6, 7 innings. Kershaw 9, but you know what I mean.
But to not be able to blow a game. That's phenomenal.
That's
Texas
impressive.
that has 16 blown saves or 20-something blown saves. I mean, it's teams like that. You
Washington.
Look at that and you're
look at the
Washington
Nationals
too.
They're the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the worst bullpen in baseball, but yet they've won 50-something, 60 games. I think it's 58 games they've won so far, 59, something like that.
52?
No, they've won a few more than that. I thought at least.
I think Brian's
52.
a little more accurate.
Yeah, 52.
52 and 36.
Yeah.
They've won 52 games with the worst bullpen in baseball.
Yeah.
They don't even have a closer either.
Hitting everybody.
Yeah.
That's all they need.
I mean, they have it for the future. Coda Glover's legit. He hasn't been able to stay healthy much this year, but I don't think they even wanted to throw him into the mix quite yet. I don't even think he's quite ready. So long term, they'll be all right. They need to go out and get David Robertson And they should have done it yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're waiting for. You know, they got the pieces to trade for him. I don't think the White Sox are going to ask for, a king's ransom for him. And then that way, you got a clear guy that could come in and close. And he's versatile, too. He could set up, too. But in Washington, he'll be closing.
Yeah. Well, I would like to thank Washington, too, for Felipe Rivero.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been lights out now since he's moved to that closer's position.
Yeah, that was a steal last season for them.
Yeah, I was upset when Melanson left because I loved him and he was great closer, but now you see why we got rid of him and went for the young arm and Rivero.
See, that was their mistake last year. They should have gave Rivero a shot to close last year, looking for a closer,
and then,
with his electric
Then you
stuff.
see Tony Watson now, even with the setup, he's been losing games. So I'm kick him to the curb.
Well, Tony Watson's not a closer. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's a left-handed specialist setup man at best, seventh inning guy at best.
Exactly.
You ask way too much of the guy.
I mean, he performed well in the role. Don't get me wrong, but he's not. He's like what they talk about Brandon Kinsler out in Minnesota, where it's like any day this guy's going to lose his job, but all he does is keep on getting saves. Watson was doing that for a while, and then things went south.
Yeah.
So he should slide into that lefty specialist role, Doug. You're absolutely right. Because you bring up a great point, the Achilles heel of the Washington Nationals. This is why I can't put them ahead of the Dodgers, the Astros.
No
way.
And I actually slid them at number 3. So my top three are Dodgers, Stros, Nats, just because of that offense, man.
Nah. Even with that offense is phenomenal. You're 100% right, but I mean that bullpen. That bullpen, man.
The bullpen, yeah, but then they got Scherzer, Strasburg. I mean, like their starting rotation goes deeper, when healthy with Strasburg. But Tanner Roark, who has been up and down, not quite as bad as he was 2 years ago, not quite as good as he was last year.
Right.
Joe Ross. Same deal, but a great pedigree.
He's got a great pedigree. I mean, but he's been on a milk carton this year. Yeah. Like, where are you? Like, have you seen this man? Because I have not either. Like, he's just been terrible, bro. I mean, not terrible, but terrible.
Right.
Like, it's so frustrating.
You said you went Houston 1, so that means Dodgers 2?
Oh, of course, Dodgers 2. That was the coin flip. I actually was going to go 1A and 1B and just be a dick, but,
Same thing crossed my mind, too. So who slots in number 3 behind him?
I actually have the Arizona Diamondbacks slotted in at number 3. Obviously, you guys are well aware if you follow our show. I've been on them all season. I was on them in the preseason. Big. I just love what this team's doing right now. I mean, the offense is clicking on all cylinders. Even without A.J. Pollock, they were still mashing baseballs. Now he's back. They're still doing their thing. Starting rotation's actually been a surprising strength to this club. Even with depth and spot starts from guys like Brandon Shipley and, excuse me, I can't think of the kid's name now off the top of my head.
Corbin?
Patrick Corbin, thank you.
Corbin, yep. Coming back from Tommy John, he's been back and forth. But
he threw a gem the other day and still got the loss.
Yeah.
I think he had like 4 hits and 1 earned.
Well, and see, that's why they dropped a little bit in my power rankings as of the moment. Because they've been, I think they're 3-7 over their last 10, and they basically have just stopped hitting.
They have in the last 5 or 6 games. I believe they're averaging under 2.5 runs a game over their last 7 or 8. But this is still a team with a potent. This is still a team with a very potent offense. They have a very as long as their pitching stays where it's at, they're going to be in every single game. Their bullpen is dynamite. A lot of electric arms. David Hernandez comes to mind. Fernando Rodney closing out games. Yeah, he can be a little wild, but he still gets the job done.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like they have enough veteran players in key spots to really push this team through a playoff race that they're in right now. So I just think they're going to stay right where they are. I think they're a little bit better off than the Nationals and then some of these other teams, chasing that top spot.
No, I agree. What the Diamondbacks are doing as early as expected in Major League Baseball, it's been pretty phenomenal. It's like Doug said, their starting pitching has been good. They go deep. Bullpen's been good. Lineup, there's so much depth in this lineup that they can plug and play anybody in any position, and they're going to produce. I have the Diamondbacks in the number 3 spot, too. Doug is kind of starting to sell me on this team.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, fair enough, man. I mean, funny enough, I was almost thinking about putting the Diamondbacks instead of the other option for our poll. So I'm picking up what you're putting down. I looked at them statistically wise. I measured their offense, their team offense versus the other, 7 teams that I have in front of them. Because I have the Diamondbacks down at number 8. Yeah, I mean, and it's not that I'm not high on them. right?
Right.
Don't get it twisted, right? A little bit of it is from the 3-7 over the last 10. Some of these numbers just didn't measure up to teams like I had ahead of them, like the Rockies, the Indians, the Red Sox, and I have a surprise team that we'll get to in a little bit up in there. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm smoking crack. We'll see. But in the meantime, we want to get to
crack is whack.
Your top three, Mr. Kleinkauf. You went with who for number one?
I went Houston number one.
You went Houston,
yeah.
right?
And then obviously LA number 2. I'm going with the Nats. Purely, I mean, Scherzer, Strasburg, and their offense is just phenomenal right now.
Right.
So
I mean, putting up 8-10 runs a game.
Oh yeah,
it's disgusting.
It is.
We all hate the Nationals here. It's one thing we can agree on.
I love Bryce I love Bryce Harper though. I mean, I love him. Fantasy purposes.
Yeah, sure.
No, I'm a Zimmerman guy. To be honest with you, though.
Yeah, that was stupid of me when I dropped him. But I'm loaded in first base in our league. So
yeah, you are.
Yeah.
But,
giving Joey Votto away for peanuts. Nobody's taking.
I know. I've been trying, and nobody wants him. I'm like, come on.
I just looked at his stats.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry,
bro.
Doug.
He's number 2, I think, in our league for points.
He was NL Player of the Week, and skipping ahead a little bit real quick, just because we brought up Joey Votto together, right? Over his last week, 524, 630, 1,095 slash, 6 runs scored, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, 6 walks, and a stolen base over those 7 games.
And nobody wants him. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I know. And he's having a pretty phenomenal year. I mean, he might creep up in that, maybe 4th, 5th slot in terms of MVP race at the current time period because of, the Reds, really overachieving or whatever. What I thought was interesting is that this is Votto's 4th career NL Player of the Week award, but last since 2013 because he's healthy. Yeah, right?
What?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. That's surprising. I can't believe that, actually. That's ridiculous.
Makes you go,
What if he could actually stay healthy?
You want to know another something that's going to make everybody here, maybe even Sinsudi's going to go on this one. Number 4, I'm putting the Milwaukee Brewers at number 4 in my power ranks. Straight crack.
No, I have them. I'm just going to say it now. I have them at 8.
I have them at 9.
I mean, they're not. They're obviously top 10. It's just I could definitely, if I'm going with like one-on-one matchups, I could definitely see a couple other teams right now being a little bit better.
Sure. Their pitching has just impressed me.
And Anderson's still on a DL as well. So, I mean, they got him. But a guy like Davies, he's been playing all right. I mean, not Nelson's been great.
Junior Guerrera.
Yeah.
They're putting together a nice little rotation there. And they also brought up their stud farmhand Josh Hader, who's been pitching middle relief, and he's eventually going to slot into that rotation too. I don't know why he hasn't already.
Innings limit.
Yeah.
Innings. Yeah, they're just trying to limit that.
8-2 over their last 10. Definitely on fire, leading the NL Central. So,
do you think it lasts?
Nah.
See, and it's like this almost every single year. I mean, I see them every year because they're in our division, but Milwaukee's like one of the best first half teams, and it's always been like that. I remember like 2 years ago, but prior to last, obviously, 2 years ago, they were like on fire. They were the best team in the majors for the first couple of months, and then they were the worst team in our division at the end of the year.
Yeah, that does happen.
I don't see
Milwaukee
them.
Brewer baseball.
I don't see them being the worst team in our division this year, but I don't see them winning our division.
I mean, I'm kind of picking up what you're putting down, Rob. I got them at number 5 on my list.
Drink the Kool-Aid with me, baby.
I am. I'm drinking Kool-Aid with you, and I'm drinking Kool-Aid with Doug. I like the Brewers
Sabbatical
lineup.
over here.
It's spiked, bro. We're spiking it. Mikey, what's up with this, man?
Hey, listen, I'm not too far. I have your Diamondbacks at number 4, all right? Christ.
I just like this Brewers lineup. It's a good lineup. They're hitting pretty well. You got these guys that are being plugged in that are producing. Guys like Orlando Arcia, who's not only a good offensive bat, he's looking like he's a pretty good defensive shortstop as well. So you got power with Domingo Santana. And like you guys were saying about the rotation, they're plugging these guys in, and they're making it look like that, this Brewers lineup rotation might be dangerous at some point.
Dangerous.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. Like I said, I have them at 9. I'm buying that they're definitely going to be at least contending through the stretch. I don't think they're winning the division. I don't think they're making playoffs, but they're going to be right there to the end. Like the lineup's just too deep now. You know, Marcus Thames. I mean, that kid, man. Woo. Bat.
Who you talking about?
Thames.
Oh, Eric Thames.
Eric
Yeah.
Thames. I said Marcus, whatever.
Close enough.
Potato.
Eric
Yeah.
Marcus.
He's making me very much regret going Peraza over him in their dynasty league. Yeah. With every swing of the bat. But all right, keep it rolling.
I said it to you.
You did.
I
You
did.
did. I
never heard of a guy, but I said it to you.
I'm Italian. I'm stubborn. I'm hard-headed. I'm gabados, as they say. You know what I mean? So, all right. So I have the Brewers at number 4. I have the Red Sox at number 5. Any problems with that, or who do you guys got at 5?
Red Sox 5 too.
Yeah.
I got Red Sox 4. I got Nationals 5.
Yeah, I got Red Sox 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't do your 4. So you got Red Sox 4 and then Nationals 5?
Yep.
Briefly, just so we cover the Red Sox a little bit, because I think they're a team that could possibly challenge the number 1 spot in this. Why do you have them ahead of the Nationals at this point?
Oh, because they're just the better overall team at this point. Granted, middle relief is the same issue for the Red Sox as it is with the Nationals, but the closing spot, I mean, Craig Kimbrell's still the best in the business. I mean, Kenley Jansen is having a phenomenal year, and he's right there too, but he's not Craig Kimbrell. He hasn't done it for like 10 years straight, being a lockdown, shutdown guy.
And Kimbrell's, I think, having the better year this year, man. I think this exceeds his Braves days. The strikeout rate, that he went like 9 appearances without giving up a run. I'm sick.
Yeah, he's sick, man. I mean, he can be untouchable at times.
Right.
I mean, don't bring him in when there's not a save situation, though. But he's untouchable.
That's a lot of closers, certainly. So.
And, I mean, I like the offense, too. I mean, like, granted, this offense isn't, the dynamite juggernaut that the Nationals are, where they have 1 through 9 that can just destroy baseballs. But this is a team at 1 through 9 can put the ball in play and make things happen 1 through 9. There's a lot of mobility with this lineup. It's almost built like a national. It's an American League. It's a National League lineup, a deep National League lineup in the American League. It's a lot more slap hitters, a lot more guys who can put the ball in play, hit and run. Guys can pull off double steals and things like that. They can do a lot of different things to generate runs, not just hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Truth. And I mean, that same type of lineup definitely had a cold start, but they're really hitting their stride now, particularly one Xander Bogaerts.
Absolutely.
I like what you brought up there. That point, though, is that, yes, power ranks should be made on the here and now. But you should also look at what this team value has from here to the rest of the season, too. I think that's a big component that a lot of people out there that write power ranks don't really address, but we certainly do.
Yeah.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Thank you.
So,
the time off served me well.
I can see that, man. You got a little tan, too. A little bit.
He's Italian. He should be tan right away.
I know. Out there.
As soon as he hits the sun.
Yes. So, Brian, let's get up to 5 on you.
5, that's where I put the Brewers.
You put the Brewers 5, right? So, all right, cool. And
I did Boston.
Did Boston as well. All right, we still got time, so we'll move into the latter half of the top 10. I'm going to run through 6 to 10 real quick.
Yeah, that's cool.
I got Indians at 6. I give them the edge over the Rockies at 7 because of their pitching, and they have a higher team OPS. So I think that gives them the edge over the Colorado Rockies, despite less wins at that. Again, looking at the full scale of the rest of the season, Rockies at 7, D-backs I had at 8, Rays I got at number 9, and that is just my biggest surprise in the top 10. My second biggest surprise in the top 10 is the Twinkies.
What?
Yes, I got the Twinkies back-to-back with the Rays, 9 and 10. Did not think I'd be talking about either of them before we got to the 20s.
No,
but you got to look at what they've done.
Yeah.
I had Tampa Bay in last place.
Yeah.
When we went through it before.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I went back and listened to the tape of our preseason predictions.
Yeah.
And as we get into the lower third of the power rankings, spot on, and I'll address them.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I made a little notes because, Tom Arnone's no notes. I'm hashtag all notes. You know what I mean? You got to do homework. You got to do homework in fantasy, just how it is,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's too many numbers, bro. I can't remember all that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for real.
6 through 10, buddy.
6 through 10. I'm really shocked this team's not on your 6 through 10 at all. I got the Yanks at 6, Bronx Bombers.
Struggling.
I got the struggling. Doesn't matter, but they're worth 6 spot. 7's the Indians.
It doesn't matter. No, go on.
It doesn't matter. I got the Indians. Your Indians at 7. I have the Rockies also at 8. I got the Brew Crew, like I said before, at 9. And I have the reigning defending world champs at 10, the Chicago Cubs.
Me too.
Nice.
Hey.
High five.
Wow.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Interesting.
All right, so to finish out my 6 through 10 here, I got the Yankees as well at 6, Colorado at 7, Brew Crew at 8, Cleveland at 9, and Cubs at 10.
Wow, that's like right in the vision.
Cubs too high. Too high, both you Cubs.
I agree.
It is. And real quick, I mean, they're the worst first inning team in the league right now, pitching-wise. Their pitching's horrendous.
Right.
Absolutely.
But looking towards the rest of the season, second half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, all I know is they let up 10 runs against the Pirates in the first inning. So
yeah, they did. That was terrible.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Except I had Lester on my fantasy team.
Fail.
Minus 17.7 points.
Fail.
Yeah.
That's a big fat stink burger. You're talking about 50 burgers. That's a stink burger. Sorry,
Yeah.
Brian, 6 through 10.
6, I got the Nationals. 7, I got the Rockies. 8 is where I put the Indians. And I'm with you, Rob. At number 9, I have the Rays. And at number 10, that's where I put the Yankees.
Nice.
I could dig that.
All these lists are being provided to you by the Soap Stash. I told you I was going to tell you more about them. Well, here it is. Treat your skin with the best nutrients and feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural. Contact Soap Stash today for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. They have bars of soaps, all hygiene products, shampoos, beer oils, CBD oils are starting to be ingrained into their products, which are great for anxiety and depression. Just the best thing you can use in the shower and outside. Contact Soap Stash today, 844-890-3197. Look up their selection of products on soapstash.com. And to order and check out their specials, go to their Facebook page, Soap Stash LLC. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. On the other side, we'll get to the rest of our power ranks, give you a little fancy baseball advice, and then later on in the show, man, NFL's coming soon. Those fantasy drafts are coming soon. We're going to start to get you prepared here on Fantasy Dominance now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Woo!
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet. Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
And welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance, now only on A2DRadio.com. And if you're a college kid that plays fantasy sports and you're just waking up about 12:37 in the p.m., that punk music will wake you up. Well done, Mr. Sensuti on the ones and twos. We got Brian Daley on camera, Mike Kleinkauf, Doug Pitchford. Unfortunately, Rob Povia is on camera too. I'll try not to break the lens. But we're getting into our MLB Power Ranking series, starting off right at the All-Star break. I think that's a great time to start it off, and we went through our top 10. If you're just joining us, you can keep live with the show, or you can rewind that cursor back, see who we went 1 through 10. All this fun is being brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, your certified public accountants. Give them a call, schedule an appointment, 215-369-3300. So before we get on to 11 to 20, boys, any of those teams 6 through 10, because we just read off our list, is there any one you wanted to highlight, or are you ready to move on to 11?
I mean, I want to get your reasoning for why the Cubs. You said we both put the Cubs at 10 too high.
I'll give you a great reason: the standings. They're 2 games under 500. They're awful on the road. Their OPS on the road is putrid. Like, I actually look for streaming pitchers to start against the Cubs when the Cubs are on the road. I think you've had inconsistencies there, and you're seeing the World Series hangover. So I'm giving them a pass. They're still a great team. They still do have the potentiality of rising up. I have them, I believe, at 15 currently. Yeah, I have them at 15. I think they will be a top 10 team when all said and done. But I don't know if they can creep back in this division because of just being exasperated.
I could understand that. I just think that because they've played so poorly in the first half and because they've been so just inconsistent and just kind of like all over the place, that's why I feel like this All-Star break comes at the perfect time for the Chicago Cubs. Like you're talking about, again, they are the reigning defending world champions. They have one of the best managers in the game in Joe Madden. I see this team coming out the gates like, you know what I mean, like bats out of hell, probably winning 10 or 15 straight and just, starting to and just reestablishing themselves as the cream of the crop team in baseball. I just see it, and I rank them at 10 because of that, and because of the fact that this is basically the same team that just won a World Series and just won like 100 games. So.
Yeah, no, I get it. I enjoyed your Paul Heyman moment there. Reigning, defending. No, I get it. No, I absolutely get it. And, that's why power rankings are so fun, because I don't think any one of us could put this together the same exact list. No. It's just not possible. Not possible at all. Ready to move on to 11, boys?
Yeah.
All right. 11, I'm going with Texas Rangers here. I think they had a slow start to their season. And this is one of the teams that we predicted preseason that could be a perennial powerhouse that underachieves and misses the playoffs this year. I think they've worked their way back into the divisional race and the wild card race. Currently, they sit at their third, also 2 games under 500, similar to that Cubs record. But they're 4-6 over the last 10. They're showing signs of life. Cole Hamels is now healthy back, and after that first just
blow up.
Yeah, blow up. Yeah, no other way to say it. He's showing back, rounding into form. Tyson Ross is who he is, but he's healthy, and that's another steady arm, innings-eating guy that you have on there. Rangers, I think, will have something to say. They're not coming close to Houston. I think Houston, with 60 wins, has this division already at the All-Star break, but you can never say never. I mean, I may have just jinxed them.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's not happening. But yeah, that's where I got the Rangers at. I got the Rangers at 11. Who'd you go with 11, guys?
I went with the Twins.
Twins there.
I went Kansas City.
I went with the Cardinals.
Interessante. Yes, they have been on the rise.
They've been on the rise. I've gotten a little bit more faith in their rotation. Their bullpen, though, is just putrid. Their back end of their bullpen, I should say, is putrid. Their middle relief is actually pretty good.
And it shouldn't be. You got 2 all-star caliber closers in O and Rosenthal, and neither one of them can get it done when the pressure's on.
Nope.
Which
is fine.
When the pressure's on Rosenthal, then O is successful. When the pressure's on O, it's a fantasy nightmare, that bullpen. Not as bad as the Nationals, but kind of close.
That's pretty close.
The Royals, I have at 12, so I'm with you on there. They're certainly a team that really started off very cold and been getting their act together.
Yeah.
And then you went 11 with the Twinkies there. So, I mean, I had them at 10. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I got the Royals at 12 too. So, I mean, I'm seeing it in Kansas City. I always felt like their bullpen was kind of steady. I don't know why I'm blanking on who their closer is right now.
Kelvin Herrera, I believe.
Yep, Kelvin Herrera.
Yeah.
I like Mike Minor out of the bullpen. I know he had a rough early career as a starter, especially with the Braves. But he's really come around as a reliever with the Royals, and the offense is really starting to take off. With Hosmer starting to come around, and Lorenzo Cain and Mike Moustakas. So, I could definitely see the Royals making a run.
Yeah, Moustakas had a little run in the home run derby last night. We'll be getting to our little recap and All-Star game preview later on in the show. Keep it there. Yeah, absolutely. Diggs. Yeah. Number 12.
Marlins.
Really? You got the Marlins at 12.
What?
Interesting. Give us the reasons.
I think better going forward. They're more of a better team than, obviously, the Braves. I think the Braves right now are just having a good start to the season. I don't think they're going to stay in second place there.
Yeah, they'll definitely come back to earth in the second half.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I think Miami right now is the second best team in that division.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they've got, Dan Straley has been just a great find
Yeah.
for them. He's pitching ace caliber for that team.
Yeah, he is.
And they needed it, with the loss of Jose. They needed a guy to step up. And so far that, it's been him. It's been a little bit of a Urena, I believe is the pronunciation.
Yeah, Jose Urena.
Yeah. Definitely, been getting solid. Bear Claw, who we talked about during the break, kind of scuffled a little bit early on, but he's been just lights out in the setup role. Ramos, again, started off cold, has a high ERA and high whip, but has been lights out over the past 2 weeks. So, I get it. And in that outfield, you don't have to tell Tom he's in love with that outfield.
Yeah, it's one of the best in the league. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Yeah, absolutely. Douglas, you got 12.
I was listening to y'all guys. I'm with you guys on the Twinkies. I got the Twinkies at 12. I'm sold on this team. This team's legit. They field the baseball. They're one of the best fielding teams in the game. That's more the key to their success than anything else. They have a lot of pitchers, younger pitchers who do have a lot of contact, and they're not letting up cheap hits. That helps out younger pitchers, especially electric younger pitchers. Jose Barrios, man, that kid, I've been on that kid for a couple of years now. I love this kid. I think he's the real deal. But I'm sold. I'm sold on this team for right now. Irvin Santana, the best thing he could have done was steroids. It was the best thing for his career.
No doubt.
Look at him, bro. Look at him, bro.
Big Irv's a little bigger.
Right? He got that extra 3-4 miles per hour back on his fastball. That's what he needed, boy.
At lucky number 13 is where I slide in the Yankees at this point because they have been free falling lately. Looking at their last 10, real quick. They are 3-7. Definitely had a long losing streak even before these last 10 games. The once high and mighty Yankees, they were number one. They worked their way up to number one in some power rankings that I read. Really come back to the earth. And I just want to ask all the Yankees fans out there, how long did you expect the overachieving to last? Because that's what they are. I mean, are good things in store for this team? Absolutely. You have two of the greatest young hitters in the game right now, Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez, but they're just not a cohesive unit yet. There's holes in the lineup. There's holes in that rotation.
There's holes in the rotation.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Batantas has been blowing games, too.
Yep.
So, I mean, their bullpen has been horrible.
Right.
I wouldn't say it's horrible, but yes, Batanzas has been pretty
as
putrid.
Of recent, it's
lately.
one of the worst in the majors recently.
Yeah, I mean, Batanzas has been really bad in the back end. You could tell something's still wrong with Chapman, but I mean, they still got a lot of arms, man. I mean, that kid Green is pretty good in long relief in the bullpen. They got another kid in there. I think his name is Shevers or something, or Sherver or whatever his name is. He's got an electric arm in the pen, throwing mid to high 90s, and a former starter. I like the rotation, though. I mean, CeCe's been great this year on the bounce back. I really like Pineda. Pineda's starting to come into his own. And Luis Servino is starting to really grow into the pitcher they thought he was and the prospect they thought he was. So the rotation, it's really the back end of that rotation is pretty shaky. But they're top three. I mean, they can go up there with anybody.
In a playoff series?
In a playoff series,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll take that lineup, even with those couple holes because of injuries. Castro's out. They did just get Gregorius back like a month ago. They still have a couple other injured players. Ellsbury's still out.
They bring up Clint Frazier.
Aaron Hicks.
No, Ellsbury's back. Yeah, he's back from the concussion you're talking. Yeah.
But he's not back yet.
He's not back. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Back is not what you heard last night.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah, you said Ben Shivers. That's what I get when I drink scotch. Yes. Who you boys got at 13?
That's where I have the Twinkies.
Yeah, the Twinkies at 13.
I got the Cardinals at 13.
Yeah. Very logical, as we covered.
I've actually got the Royals there at 13.
Yeah.
So
it's a good spot. I'm at 12, 13, absolutely. Running down the rest of my middle tier, I got the Cardinals at 14. I got the Cubs at 15, as I mentioned before, and why. I actually got the Bravos at 16 right now. Like we said, they're going to come back down to earth, but you really see a lot of signs of the good things that are coming for this team. And again, the Braves are not one of my favorite teams out there, but they have, rebuilt very well and have performed admirably in the last 10 games. They're 500 over the last 10 games, but looking at a larger sample size over the last 20, they're 13-7. So, definitely, second place in the National League East slides you in at 16. I got your Bucks at 17. I got the Angels at 18. I have the Mariners at 19. And I got the stay classy San Diego Padres at 20, which is another big surprise for me when I looked at the numbers. Too high?
Wow. Yeah, I have them second to last.
Yeah, I got them pretty far down the list as well, but that's for other reasons.
They've been hitting, man. They've been hitting pretty good.
They got the bats. It's just their pitching is putrid.
All the way across.
Yeah.
Hey, their bullpen's been decent, and certainly, sitting at 38 and 50, fourth place in the West is not good prime real estate or whatnot, but I like that kid, what's his name, Ryan Schimpf. I believe, second baseman, utility, got some pop or whatnot.
He's got pop, but his average is horrible.
That's in
it's
the
like
216.
Yeah,
I got you. Well, like I said, man, I hit some things up.
He's home run or bust for Daley, Not you, Daley.
No,
Daley Fantasy.
Don't worry. I knew what you meant.
Nice segue. What's the rest of your middle tier to 20?
My tier to 20. I just flip the page here real quick. All right, so the last I gave you was the Cardinals. So at 14, I have the Mariners. 15 is where I have the Cubbies. 16, I have the Rangers. 17, I have the Angels. 18, I have the Pirates. 19 is where I put the Braves. And 20 is where I have the Marlins.
Pretty fair, man. I can't argue with any one of those because they're right around some of my crazy picks. But for all good reasons, though. I mean, the Mariners, again, another cold start, and have they gotten together well, specifically that starting rotation.
Yeah, Paxton.
Yep.
I still need Kyle Seager to wake the hell up and start playing baseball.
I'm so happy I got rid of him.
I was just so happy Mike Zunino finally came to fruition of what I saw when I drafted him in our league. Because everybody was like, who? Who are you drafting?
I remember I saw the Yankees and Mariners play the one time, and Zunino was batting like a 193 at that time.
Yeah.
It was probably like late May.
Yeah.
Or early June. I forget when the game was.
Yeah. Well, ever since early June, he's taken off a little bit.
This was last year.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
2 years ago, probably. Wow. Yeah. I always just remembered the name being up there, and wow, this guy sucks.
Hot garbage.
Straight garbage, bro.
What's the rest of your middle tier there, Mikey?
I have Texas at 14. 15, I have Tampa Bay. 16, I have the Angels. 17, I have the Mariners. 18, I have the Orioles. 19, Cards. And 20, I have the BJs.
Yeah. That's about right. I mean, BJ, they've been
hot lately.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been pulling it together.
But I think one of the major disappointments. They should be in second place right now, battling, with the Red Sox for first place. And, this is where we got to puff the chest a little bit, because this was our first thing. We said the Blue Jays are going to have a down year, and they certainly have. They've been getting it together recently, but yeah, I have them at 21, so right about that time period. I had the Orioles down to 22, though. Where did you have the Orioles at?
18.
Yeah, it's same ballpark. Yeah.
It's just their starting rotation blows. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even.
They have a starting rotation.
Yeah.
I thought they just did like the inter squad thing where they just have a guy throw 2 innings and then the next guy comes in.
Well, as much as we predicted the Blue Jays being a disappointment this season, remember I was saying the Orioles. I picked them 4th, and you guys were like, "Huh?" Buck Showalter's garbage, and he needs to go. He needs to be canned. And where the hell is Manny Machado? Where has he been this year? Because he's not playing on the field right now. There's got to be something going on with that. He's too good to be batting like what? He's batting like 220.
Yeah, 230.
Yeah, I had the Orioles in 3rd place in that division. So.
He went back to the notebook.
Only 2 games above the Blue Jays.
My handy
for
dandy
4th.
notebook.
So.
No, I got you. I did.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure I had the O's in 3rd as well. So I'm close enough to what I thought they'd be. But getting into the rest of where I want them, where they are right now.
Yeah, Machado 230.
Yeah, that's rough.
Amazing.
18 homers, not bad, but that's all he's been doing.
Another home run or bust.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get paid.
No, that ain't going to help. His 230 average.
Yeah, but the 35, 40 bombs he's going to hit will. Anyway, 14. My 14 to 20 real quick.
Go for it, absolutely.
Here we go. I got the Angels at 14. I got the Rays at 15. Braves at 16. Texas Rangers at 17. New York Metropolitans at 18. Baltimore Orioles at 19. And Miami Marlins at 20.
I love you, Doug. I'm a fellow Mets fan, but that's homerism.
No, it's not homerism. I have them ranked higher because you know what, they are this good of a team. They are a better team than what they've showed. They are a better team in general. Yeah, I mean, this poor performance is more based off of injuries more than it is just poor
100%.
play
100%.
out of players. So and as coming out of the All-Star break, they're getting a couple guys back. They're gonna start getting healthier as the season goes on. So I could see this team getting better, and more importantly too, they're gonna be selling pieces. So you're gonna have some of these younger kids who've been waiting to come up to actually see if they can come up and play. So I just see the team just getting better as a whole anyway.
No, I feel you. You're looking again long-term, rest of the season, they're going to be getting healthier. It feeds right into my lower tier, which is where I have the New York Metropolitans. I have, starting off, like I said, Blue Jays 21, Orioles 22. I have the Marlins at 23, the Reds at 24. And, I have the Mets here at 25, with the season starting to slip away. Like we said, if they can get their pitching healthy, maybe make a run, absolutely. I think one thing you will see, regardless of their success or failure, is you will see either Granderson or Duda wearing the Bronx-style pinstripes by, the trade deadline. I could see that. I know they've been interested in both players.
I hope they take both players.
Agreed. That's why I mentioned them. 26, I got the Tigers, who are competing with the Mets for the season's biggest disappointment. I got the 27, I got the Athletics. 28th, I got the White Sox. 29 is where I got the San Francisco Giants. Another accurate prediction by us in the preseason. If you
I didn't think it
recall.
was going to be that bad.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I was still high on the Giants. I had them number 2 in the division.
Well, you know why. Your boy.
Mad Bum.
Yeah, you know.
It's solely because of that.
He can't get back soon enough, but here's the
he
thing.
will.
He will.
After this break.
Sure, but who else is going to support him in that rotation? That staff is a fucking mess, dude. There's no way to get around it. It's a
been
mess.
Horrible.
Cueto's been horrible. Matt Moore is hot garbage.
Yeah, Melanson's been hurt. You know, they got nobody closing out games.
What happened to Jeff fucking Samardzija, though? Like,
He's, you know what, though?
He's
if
shark
you,
bait,
if you look
bro.
at him, he's in top 10 in strikeouts.
Yeah, he's actually a good DFS play on given nights,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, with
The
those 10
record
strikeouts
sucks.
come with like 11 earned runs.
Yeah,
in like
he's
4
been
innings.
better as of recent. But, I mean, to start off the year, he had like 8 earned runs, 9 earned runs. I was like, oh, my God.
I mean, but that's what you get with Jeff Samardzija. And I mean, Johnny Cueto
Go back
was
to Notre Dame.
right? Go back to football, guy. But even Cueto, Cueto's a very inconsistent pitcher anyway. I mean, that's always been his career MO. He's either hot for stretches or he'll have 2 or 3 bad starts and then heat up again.
Yeah, I've never seen him this bad though, brother.
Nah, he's been putrid this year. But you
in
know
a
what?
pitcher's park too.
But you know what? It's because he's healthy.
Yeah, he's got to be banged up. It has the 8 different styles with his wind up there. Absolutely. Number 30, not a big surprise.
Hometown.
You're already on the clock for next year's draft, your Philadelphia Phillies. But brighter days are definitely ahead for the Philadelphia Phillies, as we talked about. Maybe possibly coming as soon as September, so stay tuned.
We'll see. We'll see how smart Matt Kleinkauf tends to be.
Hey, they've worked their way up to number 6 in terms of Pipeline's top minor league systems, farm systems.
Oh, yeah.
And you can expect that to rise because they're going to trade some pieces, as we talked about before the show. And then you get maybe another number 1 draft pick next year. Yeah, you could be looking at the number 1 farm system when all is said and done.
No, I mean, I agree. The farm system looks good, but it's a matter of what can they do at the major league level.
Right.
So, I mean,
Sure.
we still don't know about that. I mean, Nick Williams, we're starting to get a taste for.
And the more
being called up, and then
taste.
Even still, some of the guys in the starting rotation, Jared Eichhoff, and he needs to be healthy because we know he can pitch. Aaron Nola is starting to come into his own. So, I mean, hopefully there's a bright future ahead for this ball club. As a fan, I'm hoping, but we don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah.
You just need talent, man. I mean, talent's everything. The more talent you bring in, it's that old adage, the more shit you throw against the wall, something's going to stick.
Yeah.
Keep bringing in shit, see what sticks. That's all this team can do. And, that's what they should have been doing from the top, like the Houston Astros did. I mean, you see what they are now. Granted, they were putrid for 3 years, but you see where they are now.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll take
just
putrid.
breaking 60 wins a year.
I mean, I'll
Astros.
take a putrid ball club, as long as, they're testing out what these young guys can do at the major league level. As long as they stay down low, AAA, AA, don't matter. You're not going to know what these young guys can bring unless you bring them up.
It don't matter. We'll have your shit done lickety split. No shit.
Unfortunately, they keep bringing in guys like Michael Saunders and Howie Kendrick, who, Howie Kendrick is playing well when he's healthy, but
Right.
you're not going to know what these young guys can do as long as somebody else is taking up that spot.
Certainly. Maddie's giving me the wrap-up sign, so it's time to pay some bills. But before that, I want to give you guys just a little bit of time, go through your lower tiers of your power ranks.
All right, so 21, I have my Buccos there. 22, I have Detroit. 23, I have your Mets. 24, I have the Braves. 25, I have the A's. 26, I have the Reds. 27, White Sox. 28, Giants. 29, Padres. And 30, the hometown Phillies.
Yeah, pretty similar. Not really, though, but close enough. The bottom half. 21, Mariners. 22, Tigers. 23, San Francisco Giants. 24, Blue Jays. 25, your Pirates. 26, Reds. 27, Oakland Athletics. 28, San Diego Padres. 29, the Chi Sox. And 30, obviously, same thing here, hometown Phillies.
Poor Phils.
21, I got the Blue Jays. 22, Orioles. 23, Tigers. 24, Mets. 25, Athletics. 26, White Sox. 27, Reds. 28, Padres. 29, Giants. And 30, my boys, the Philadelphia Phillies.
There you have it. So let it be written. So let it be done. We'll see what happens in the second half. But on the other side of Fantasy Dominance, now only on HDRadio.com, going to give you a little fantasy baseball advice, maybe some, transactions you can do during this 4-day hiatus in terms of setting your lineup. We'll get into a little bit of injury news. Most notably, though, we're not done with baseball. Big vivacious home run derby last night. We'll get into how that all went down. We'll look ahead to tonight's All-Star game, and then we'll wrap up the show with a little bit of fantasy football draft season style. All this being brought to you by the BMW of Atlantic City dealership, and they challenge its sales team. They must sell 100 vehicles, which means one thing. You save. Right now, lease a certified pre-owned elite 2017 BMW 320i with xDrive. Just $299 a month for 36 months. The ultimate driving experience is closer than you think. BMW of Atlantic City, easy to get to. Minutes off of exit 37 on the Garden State Parkway. Check them out online, bmwatlanticcity.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300. 3300 or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com. And if you want in on the dominance, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You search A2DRadio.com. If you got fantasy questions, hit us up with the hashtag AskFDN. We are Brian Daley, Mike Kleinkauf, Doug Pitchford, and Rob Povia. Matt Tessuti is bringing you all the dominance from the production chair. So we've wrapped up our epic, and I'll say epic third time, MLB power rankings list. So, if you're just joining us, you can rewind back to the beginning, catch it, or stay with us live and, watch the show again from the beginning. All different ways where you can catch us here on A2DRadio.com, which is sponsored by the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can look them up online, scanzanosports.com. Come get your baseball game in shape. So I mentioned the NL Player of the Week before in our conversation about Joey Votto. Our AL Player of the Week, for the second time this year, won Mookie Betts. He had 483, 14 for 29 with 10 runs scored, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 11 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases over his last 7 games, all guys that are obviously owned in fantasy leagues. So, we don't want to ignore we are a fantasy show, so we're talking baseball here. Start off with a little bit of walking mash unit on a little smaller scale. I got 2 guys that I'll talk about real quick, guys. Starlin Castro, he's having that pesky hamstring injury. It kept the second baseman from the lineup leading up to the All-Star break. He was convinced he would make games before the break, and the Yankees said, no way. But the good news is that his rehab assignment will start immediately after the All-Star game, so it shouldn't be too much longer into the second half you get a guy that's just been a great either waiver wire pickup or maybe you drafted him late, batting .313, 12 homers, 45 RBIs, and a .348 on-base percentage, so he can't get back into my lineup and soon enough. A guy that hit the DL also before the All-Star break, John Lackey with plantar fasciitis. Now, they're saying that he may not even miss a start the way the rotation was working with the break or what have you, but I don't know. My injury radar is on high alert. What do you think, fellas?
Mine is kind of too because, past experiences that I've seen with players with plantar fasciitis, they've missed a lot of time.
Right. I think, Albert Pujols said, is the first one to come to my mind. Now, you're talking different positions here, but that might even be to Lackey's detriment.
Didn't Roy Halladay, when he was with the Phillies, have plantar fasciitis?
Correct.
He missed a lot of time, too.
Correct.
He wasn't the same guy.
No, he wasn't. I mean, John Lackey is, 41?
Is he that old? He could be.
Yeah, I believe so.
Damn.
I mean, I know he's up there.
Too.
I know he's up there. 39, 40, 41, somewhere in that area.
I'll get that answer for you in just a second here.
But I'm sure, being that old and having that happen, it's not going to, it doesn't help.
38. My age.
Damn.
That's old.
No.
I know. Motherfucker. Any other big injuries, leading up to the All-Star break?
Mark Melancon, we had talked about him before. We mentioned the San Francisco Giants. He's actually on the road to recovery from his elbow injury. He should start. He's progressing to the point where he's about to start throwing immediately after the All-Star break, which means he could be starting to throw a bullpen session and get yes, I just vetoed the trade, and now it's done. Breaking news, I vetoed Brian Daley's trade.
Thank God.
I mean,
anyway.
No offense.
Hey, for Tom Arnone, who said, who do you want for Archer? Archer is available again.
All right, well, then I guess I'll have to throw an offer out as well.
Hey, who are you to criticize trade deals? I love it.
Because I am the guy to criticize trade deals.
No doubt.
But yeah, Melancey, he should start throwing. He'll be back sometime, hopefully within 2 to 3 weeks of the All-Star break. There's a few other guys that are, interesting injury news going on with them. I know Lonnie Chisenhall, he's been a hot waiver wire pickup recently. He did leave Sunday's game with a right calf strain. It depends. Obviously with the All-Star break, we have to see if that's enough time for him to recover. Otherwise, he might go on a very short DL stint. So that's something to watch out for. Michael Taylor is on the DL. For those of you in deeper leagues, he's got a right oblique strain, so that's at least 2 to 4 weeks. So that's a guy that maybe you probably consider dropping, just because he's not that high of a commodity.
Agreed.
I don't know. Does anybody else have anything else?
Edison Volquez is on a 10-day DL as well for knee injury. Nothing really. Your boy Junior Guerrera is on the DL as well for the Brewers.
Again, and that's, he had that great opening day start, got hurt for a while, came back, it was lights out, and then hurt again. That might be a little chink in that armor. Maybe I did have the Brewers too high.
It's a contusion on his right shin.
Oh.
Nice, he got hit with a line.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Real quick, I spoke to this earlier. Aaron Hicks on the deal with the oblique has still not yet started baseball activity, so he's probably still going to be out quite a few weeks, if not definitely the rest of this month, probably into August as well. Obviously, I already mentioned Jason Kipnis, I believe, with his hamstring strain.
You didn't, but now you did.
No, now I did. Oh, well. Jason Kipnis.
Last show you did.
Yeah, last show. But, now he's on the DL, placed on the DL this past Sunday with that hamstring strain, so it'd probably be a shorter DL stint than most people think with the All-Star break. Again, he'll probably be back in the short minimum 10. But
he did come up very lame. I saw that play running, trying to beat out an infield single, and he really grabbed for it. It looked very, very bad at face value, so it's good to hear that the diagnosis is a little less severe than how it looked.
Yeah, it's a little bit better than what they feared, so.
Nice.
That's always a good thing. And Mike Trout will be back soon because Mike Trout's swinging baseball bats
Friday,
and playing.
Yeah, he is. He's starting Friday. He wrapped up his rehab assignment. He's ready to go.
Yep. Did we mention the great old Jason Kipnis?
Yes, he just did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was looking at my team.
No.
My team is just a walking mass unit.
You
Real
like
quick.
that nomenclature there, right?
Syndergaard, obviously, he's set to resume his throwing program in probably next week. So we could realistically see Syndergaard back probably first week of August. That's just good for baseball.
Staying on the same timeline, or the original timeline.
Absolutely.
There was a little fear that it might have been extended, so it's good to hear.
Yeah,
as an owner,
I need Syndergaard to come back in my Yahoo league.
Yes,
really
sir.
bad.
Yeah, and just one more injury note. The Dark Knight, Matt Harvey, if anyone even cares or think he's relevant, he's starting to throw again from his stress injury fracture to his scapula.
Yeah.
So he's just starting a throwing program. I believe he started yesterday. So, probably a couple weeks for him to actually start a rehab assignment. Could be back middle of August. If somebody wants to take a flyer on that, which I probably won't.
And how long will it be till he's wearing a White Sox uniform?
Probably never. He's got a better chance of wearing a Rancho Cucamonga jersey.
I know that's right.
Last one I got is Eduardo Rodriguez is set to come back for the Red Sox July 17th, barring any setbacks. Will be his first start back.
Yes.
He came back sooner than expected.
Yeah, there was talk that he could have been gone for a bulk of the season, if not all of the season. But you had good instincts on them swooping him up in our league.
And I wanted to.
Both.
Yeah.
I swooped him up in both.
Yeah, I held on to him in my Dynasty League. I think it goes without saying that you had to do that. But, yeah, in a 10, 12-team league, he's definitely going to be pleasing a lot of people that took a flyer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that kid a lot.
Right. Well, speaking of taking flyers on, guys, let's get some ad recommendations. This is being brought to you by Liberty Event Rentals. For all your party needs, you can give them a call, 267-314-7368, or look them up online, libertyeventrentals.com. In terms of batters, I got a first-hand look at this kid over the weekend against our Mets there. That's Paul DeYoung of the St. Louis Cardinals. He's 43% owned, and that's up 22.5% in the last week. And if you just look at that series, that aforementioned series that I talked about against our Mets, Doug, he went, let's see here, 9 for 12 with with 4 doubles, 3 homers, 4 RBIs, just absolutely murdering the ball. And it's not like he's been hot garbage before then. He's been slowly, building up as he's gotten regular playing time with the Cards. And this kid looks like a pure hitter. I think he's a guy that if you're definitely in a 14-team and up league, he may already be owned, but if not, swoop him up now. And maybe even in a 12-team league, because he is producing at a pretty nice clip.
No, he definitely is producing at a high clip.
23 years old, too, young player.
Yeah, he only can go up. I'm digging that move. Guy I'm high on right now is Uriel Gurriel. Houston Astros first baseman, third baseman. I mean, killing baseballs right now. 18 for his last 46, and that's over his last 15 games. 4 home runs, 14 RBIs in that span. The stat that really matters, though, no walks. That sucks. 3 strikeouts. I'll take that.
Hell yeah. If you at least he's making contact. He's swinging the bat. He's not keeping it on his shoulder. He's not swinging at garbage either.
No, he's not.
The one bright spot in my buddy Mike's Pirates lineup is been Josh Bell, believe it or not. Despite his .239 average, he's hitting with some pretty good power. And in his last 9 games, he has a home run, 6 RBIs, 9 hits. I mean, yeah, his average sucks, but you can get some good power numbers out of him.
He's been picking it up a lot recently.
So what I'm hearing, if you're in a points-based league, he's a good ad. Maybe in categories where he could hurt you in batting average, you might want to possibly look elsewhere. But yeah, he's definitely a good hitter.
Yeah,
and I think that average will only go up.
Yeah,
I definitely
he'll
think
finish
it's going
at
to
like
up.
260 probably.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, which I mean, this is his first complete full season starting first base in the league too. So I was happy enough I got to see him when he played against the Trenton Thunder when he was playing for Altoona Curve.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just his last series against the Chicago Cubs alone. He finished 2 for 5, 3 for 4, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs in that series, 3 runs scored. So he has some offensive production. He just brings that average up.
Yes, absolutely.
Agreed.
Let's go over to the pitching side, boys. A guy, the Reds are blessed with arms. They're absolutely blessed with arms. The latest one that's coming up in the ranks and I think makes for a good stream. I think makes even a better long-term ad, and that's Luis Castillo, not the former second baseman of the New York Mets who drops fly balls against the Yankees. This is a kid that has an electric fastball that touches 100 miles per hour, high K upside, yet solid control. If you take away that his first start against the Nationals where he walked 5, I give him a pass for those 5 walks because, it was the Nationals. Also, in 3 starts since, also 5 walks. So, really, this kid does have good control. Outstanding ground ball percentage at 56.9%. It matches his career average in the minors, so it's not an aberration. The one negative I can see about this guy is he does have a 23.8% homer to fly ball ratio, but he's faced the Nats, the Brewers, the Rockies, and the Diamondbacks, all teams that can hit the long ball. He's slated to start against Washington this Saturday, and he's 49% owned, which is 8.7% up in the past week. So I may grab him and not start him against the Nationals. He'll be facing the Diamondbacks, who he dominated his last time out before that. The greatest part is in leagues that you can take advantage of, he qualifies as both an SP and an RP. So he's definitely got that multi-eligibility for a pitcher. Yeah,
I like that.
Absolutely.
Another pitcher maybe you guys could stream Friday when, we get back to baseballs against the poor old Phillies is Zach Davies, a guy I talked about during the power rankings. I mean, he's a nice stream, 19.3% owned in ESPN leagues. He's 10-4 on the season. I mean, he's not your high strikeout guy, but he could definitely get you a win, and, I think they'll blow past the Phillies. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Brian.
Don't be sorry. I could blow past the Phillies right now.
Like the freeze?
Yeah, he's back. He's back.
Is he back?
Yeah.
He's back.
He's trying out for Team USA.
Nice.
No, I thought he was. Trying out for the Olympics.
Yeah,
Olympic qualifiers or something. Charlie Morton's a guy that I actually like moving forward. I love the winning. I love the ability to win that the Astros have. He's not pitching that terribly either. You know what I mean? He does allow some. He's allowed 4 runs or more in 4 of his last 10 starts, but, you know, those other 6 starts, I mean, we're talking 2 runs or less in all 6 of those starts. So, like, he's a guy that can definitely put it up there. You know, and they'll win games. Like, you know, he's not a guy who's going to take a lot of losses, even if he lets up 4 or 5 runs, because his offense can score 10.
He's a control pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a stash for you guys if you're interested.
I'm always interested in stashes.
Well, unfortunately, you can't stash him early because I already own him. Is Cardinals pitcher Luke Weaver. Starting out in the bullpen with this big club. So far, he's pitched 3 innings. No earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed. Not a bad way to start.
It's interesting you bring him up, man.
And the reason why I bring him up is because he's eventually going to make his way to the starting rotation.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I say got him as a stash. In AAA, he is in 11 starts. He's 7-1. He's a 1.93 ERA and a WHIP of 0.96 with 60 strikeouts. This kid's apparently has phenomenal stuff. I have yet to see what he has, but apparently he's going to be a good strikeout pitcher.
Yeah,
if he his numbers relate to AAA.
Nasty slider. The Weaver boys always do. I don't think there's a relation, but
I don't think so either.
I thought there was. I thought he was the youngest.
He might have been,
of
maybe.
those kids.
But he was so touted last year. That's why I said interesting that Brian brought him up. And when he came up, he just got rocked. He just did not have a good initial, diving into the deep end of the Major League Baseball, but went back down and put up all those glorious numbers. I just read about him and all those numbers in the minor league. So his stock is back up. Definitely a guy to keep a watch on, or, like you said, stash.
Absolutely. Stash should definitely be if you have the room, I would. Another guy that I'm looking at, Homer Bailey, a guy that I picked up, added, dropped because I didn't like the way he started off.
Yeah, he started
Looks like he started
14
terrible.
earned runs in 2 starts.
That was terrible. But I like what's coming back around now. He's allowed 2 runs in his last 2 starts. The thing I don't like though is he only has 8 strikeouts over those last 2 starts, and he only has 12 strikeouts, in his 4 starts since returning.
And one of those was at Arizona, and it was his last start, and he pitched a great game against Arizona. And the start before that was against
at Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
Yeah.
Awful 2-start week, and he put up pretty good numbers.
Yeah, he put up decent numbers. Like I said, my only concern is the strikeout rate. Strikeout rate and the walks were a little high for him, but
that way you might want to go Luis Castillo, less of a resume on the major league level, but he had those same 2 starts, dominated the Rockies, dominated the Arizona Diamondbacks. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, both pitchers, I was surprised they did both well in that awful 2-start matchup.
Oh, me too. I mean, one more guy just to throw out there who's a very low-owned guy, only owned in 38% of leagues, Kevin Gausman. No, everyone kind of fell off the Kevin Gausman train. Listen, bro.
Don't do it.
I'm telling you right now, bro. 16 in the third innings. His last 3 starts, 20 strikeouts.
Garbage.
20 strikeouts, 19 base runners allowed over 16 in the third.
What a hooker open per leg. Something stinks in here.
And 2-0 as a starter. Listen, that offense will get them wins. More importantly, I think Kevin Gausman, because he did it last year in the second half, which is more the reason why I'm throwing this ad out there. Last year in the second half, 3.25 ERA first half, 5.8 something ERA, 5.83 ERA. Like, he pitches much better in the second half of seasons. He did it last year. He did it the year before when he got back in the rotation.
I'm joking with you, brother.
I like it. I'm a Kevin Gausman guy.
I'm joking with you because I actually agree with you, dog. Because when you have a god-awful first half, there's only one way to go, and that's up, and you can take advantage of that on a fantasy level. But I don't think you can start him every start. I think he's definitely a good stream option.
I would agree with you, but, man, I mean, he's been putting up strikeout numbers over his last 4 starts, 7, 9, 4, 9.
Right.
Just start punching guys out, man.
Any elite teams in that 4-start clip?
Tampa Bay, solid team, winning team. Toronto, good offense. Cleveland was the first one of that, which is 9 strikeouts.
That's impressive. The other Blue Jays and Rays strike out. Business.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And in Minnesota, which doesn't strike out, he struck out 7.
That's even a better example. Yeah,
like, I'm jumping on the Gausman train. I think he's figured something out. Finally.
I'm jumping on it first here.
You guys could go ahead.
All right, let's wrap this up so we can get into some home
One
run.
thing. Next week, Marte comes back a week from today, so get him now. He's only owned 69.3%. He's going up 12.4% in the last.
Are you still trying to trade him, Mikey?
Hey, I'm always open to trade him. So
I'll talk.
Hey, talk. That's fine.
Right after the show. All right, so it's a great All-Star break. I love the All-Star break, and even more so the game. I love the home run derby, and the big favorite was Aaron Judge, and he did not disappoint. He came in and took the whole damn thing, and I had my doubts at first. I thought that the guy that's really hyped up is the guy that usually gets beat in the first round, and you got a dark horse, or maybe like a guy that won it last year, and Giancarlo Stanton could come in and win it, and he wound up losing in the first round. But Aaron Judge, the way, just with ease. I mean, forget about the monstrous 500, if you can. Forget about those 500-foot bombs that were nearly hitting the roof or did actually hit the roof in batting practice and during his first round, right? Did you boys see the way he just flipped the wrist out there and just popped it out? He looked like he was taking like a little pepper swing. Gone. I mean, way gone, right center field, which is all. Even though you said they did bring in the fences for the home run derby for make it a little bit more of a homer-friendly park, I mean, they were way gone. That's a hard part of that ballpark. That's why I was going with a left-hander. My pick was Bellinger. He got to the second round. I thought he would be a little more suited as a left-handed hitter and had that really uppercut swing that hurts his batting average during regular league play, but perfect for a home run derby. Aaron Judge came forth, and we've all been served.
Yeah, I mean, like I said on Facebook, I posted it just to have it in ink, and I was pretty damn close because he finished second behind Judge in the first round, of course, because he went up against him. But that was Justin Bour.
Yep.
He hit 22 home runs. And, if it wasn't him going up against Judge, I think it could have been them two in the final.
Truth. It's interesting here. I see that he totaled 47. When I say he, Aaron Judge, 47 homers. So that's a little down. I believe Stanton was in the 60s last year when he won it. Since this new tournament style, which really high-paced, I absolutely love it. My dad was yelling at the TV. And when do you ever, it's not really a competition, but they've made it into a serious competition. Sometimes the rules get a little bit too carried away, where you can't pitch it before the ball drops. And certainly Stanton and his pitcher, let's call it how it is, they were cheating. They're absolutely cheating. They were throwing it well before the balls were landing or what have you, right through the umpire's stop sign. But, home field advantage. But one thing I noticed, right, is when they first instituted these tournament rules, there was the 2 over 440 gave you 30 seconds. There was also 1 over 470. And that went away, and nobody talked about that. They did that in Cincinnati 2 years ago. I know definite. I'm not sure about last year in San Diego. They might have abolished it because they're like, well, half these guys are going to hit it over 470. You know what I mean? Maybe they need to have an extra 30 seconds for over 500. Or, no, this just dawned on me. They took it away because it already went a half an hour over, and the whole purpose of this was to make it, okay, it's scheduled for 2 hours, and home run derbies were lasting 4 hours. Yeah. 30 seconds with just the 2 over 440. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I'm fine with that, to be honest with you. The extra 30 seconds is just going to add a little bit more excitement for that player who's 2 or 3 home runs down that could easily in 30 seconds pop 4 and win it.
I like Bellinger where he really didn't get it, but they got it, like you said.
I really don't think that last home run that Bellinger hit 440. They just gave it to him to make it a little bit more dramatic, which is fine.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished, absolutely. I mean,
baseball's all about cheating, right?
Well, any sport is it. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
My man. That's what I'm talking about.
Come on now.
I think the biggest surprise for me was Charlie Blackmon, who he even was asked before the competition, looking at all these guys, do you feel like you belong here? And he just looked at everyone and he went, no. Absolutely not. Because, he's a leadoff hitter. He's not a big power guy or whatever. But he had 14 homers, really pushing the aforementioned Clay Bellinger to the limit there. Little surprising that he was able to go double digits. Maybe because that left-handed swing, like I said, you could pop it right into the bullpen there with you get a couple 410 shots and make up for some of the other mammoth ones. But that was a big surprise for me. A good moment was, we were talking about Dylan Betances before, his reactions to Judge homers were just he looked like a little 6-year-old going to his first baseball game watching it. It was just absolutely fantabulous.
Speaking of people reacting to it, is I kind of like Jessica Mendoza's reactions to the mammoth shots that Aaron Judge hit. You want to talk about somebody who has a love for the game and has so much knowledge for it. She was like a little kid in a candy store, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Maybe,
to be completely honest. I mean, she might have gone a little over the top because she's still doing her job at the same time, but. She was just completely blown away seeing all that stuff for the first time.
Right. Now, a big talk this is the first home run derby, and as long as I can remember, you didn't have Boom or Chris Berman calling it with the back, and I don't know, I was getting tired. There was a lot of complaints coming in, so ESPN decided to switch Chris Berman with Carl Ravitch, who I thought was terrible. I mean, honestly, he was like he doesn't have excitement. You got to have excitement or whatnot.
That's why I like Berman's demand for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you gotta have. I don't understand.
But he was calling so many ones that were homers, not home. You know what I mean, and vice versa or whatnot. He's getting along in the tooth. I think.
But he's exciting.
Yeah, he is exciting. He is exciting.
That's all. The whole argument.
It's
he's
nostalgia.
He's an exciting guy.
It's nostalgia, bro. Like you can't. It's like kicking Vince Scully out of the booth before he's ready to walk away. Like you don't do that. You let it ride. Like you kind of have to let it ride. It's like a national institution, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like
me ride.
Even with some of Aaron Judge's monster home runs, Carl Ravitch was just kind of like, oh, well, that one is, that one's gonna go. But and then you have Chris Boomer, who would have been like, just way over the top and excited and just trying to get people into it. And
for that 513 footer that he hit, yeah. He probably would have lost his gorge on that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it was definitely very exciting. Again, this tournament style has been a great rule change. And tonight we have the All-Star Game, who also has another rule change in the negative where home field advantage will no longer be on the line. So I want to ask you guys before we wrap up the segment, is it going to go back to being a snooze fest now that nothing's on the line?
Not necessarily. I think maybe the score will be a little higher than like a 1-0, 2-0 game, Like it's been, I mean, it was 6-1 last year. I mean, it wasn't, that was high scoring for that game.
But not for an All-Star game.
Yeah,
I get
but recently, prior to that, it's been like very close, good games. But now I feel like it's a little bit more lenient, and the guys are gonna, have a little more fun with it than taking it seriously.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go back to being those 15-12, 15-14 type of.
I don't think that games. Much. I think maybe like 6-7. Somewhere in that range.
5-4, 7-6. Yeah. See, I think that's bad though for the game because that's not baseball. That's not what you watch every day. You don't watch 6-4, 8-2, or 8-7 games. You watch 3-2, 5-4 on a high end, 1-0 games. Like that's baseball, bro. I mean, granted, yes, you're talking about the best of the best in the game today.
Right.
But I mean, like even those All-Star games in the 60s and in the 70s that were awesome-ass All-Star games that they talk about all the time and shit, those were all 2-1 games, 3-2 games. Like those were hard-fought baseball games. Those were regular baseball games.
I like Pete Rose barreling over, I forget what catcher.
Oh, God. Was it Bench?
It might have been Bench, actually. It might have been Bench.
Bench or Fisk or one of those guys. He just plowed right through him. Like, that's one of the most iconic memories of an All-Star game ever.
Right.
And that was a 3-2 ball game.
Yep.
That's I don't know. I'm a purist to the game. I want to see like an actual baseball game. I don't want to see like the NBA All-Star game where it's like 230 to 228.
Yeah,
like,
truth.
I'm good.
Truth. I mean, speaking of nostalgia, history, and potentially also lower scoring, at least the beginning of the game, you got Chris Sale starting for the American League. You got Max Scherzer starting for the National League. And Max joins Roy Halladay, Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, and Vita Blue as the only pitchers to start in the All-Star game in both leagues. I think that's another great thing for his resume.
Yeah.
I thought the fact that he has 2 different color eyes was like a topper on his resume. I didn't think he needed any extra.
Yeah, he's been lights out, though.
Yes. You know what? The lights are on at the Sports Outlet, and they're waiting for you to come in and buy their wonderful selection of sporting products that are really going to cover all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike, Glendora, New Jersey. You can give them a call, 856-939-2030. And look them up online, sportsoutletinc.com. On the other side, we're going to break away from baseball. Definitely enjoy the All-Star game tonight, though. It should be fun. And we're going to get to the NFL and start to do a little precursor for NFL draft guides coming in for fantasy football draft season. This is Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Fantasy Dominance Now, only on A2DRadio.com.
welcome back to today's Fantasy Dominance Now, being brought to you by The Stash, the Soap Stash, the new soap standard. There's no better soaps out there that are just high quality, handmade, 100% natural for your skin, great for your children. Just absolutely, and you can really leave that, coming from that game smelling minty fresh, so to speak. Tons of flavors, tons of scents. Go on their website, soapstash.com, for ordering information, specials. Soapstash LLC is the place to go. Or you can give them a call directly, 844-890-3197. So we've been all baseball so far, and for all the groups that I shared the show in, maybe if you're just tuning in now and you're like, what the fuck, they're talking NFL now? Well, you should have came in on time, first of all. But second of all, the good thing is you can always rewind back to the beginning. We broke down MLB power rankings 1 through 30 at the All-Star break, gave a little fantasy baseball advice, injury updates, talked a little bit about the home run derby and the All-Star game tonight. Lots of baseball, but the true fantasy sport, in some people's opinion. I'm always partial for fantasy baseball, but fantasy football, people are just salivating in the mouth. It's like 1 month away from draft season.
Bro, that's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I know it. I'm almost describing you.
Yeah, that is exactly me. I'm just like, I love baseball, but baseball's not my true love. My true love is football,
Understood.
And when you're only able to talk about baseball for 2 months, it gets very dry for me. Anyway, I know you guys love baseball, Brian, as well.
Get out!
But,
thank you.
I'm ready to talk football.
Nah, I feel you,
I am
bro.
so ready to talk football.
Let's get down to it, man. Like I said, roughly about 2 weeks or so, we're going to do our deep, comprehensive. We'll go 200. We'll go 300. We'll go 500 deep on that shit.
Whoa.
Negative.
I can't even name 500 players.
I don't think there are
Let
even
alone
500
IDP
leagues.
leagues.
Well,
PPR, non-PPR. I love it.
Well, considering I have a draft coming up in 2 weeks, I think
Which
now's
is
a good time to
crazy.
start.
I think that's crazy that you have a draft before the preseason.
July 30th.
I think the best time to have a draft is probably the third week of preseason.
Yeah, preseason game 2, game 3. That's ideal.
For injury's
draft.
sake.
Yeah. Well,
seeing
somebody that
depth charts.
say,
and
like,
what
if you
have
drafted Jordy Nelson this year, 2 years ago he tore his ACL.
Well, here's the thing.
Truth.
It's a dynasty league. We're only drafting free agents and rookies.
You have the bulk of your team already together.
Right.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense then to have that nice and early. So some of the guys you may be looking at are rookies. Which ones are going to make the biggest impact right away is the question. You posed the question, Brian, when we were planning the show. Do you have an answer?
Right now, of everything that I've seen so far, it's between 2 players, Leonard Fournette and Corey Davis.
Yes.
Those are going to be my 2 guys that I keep an eye on. Leonard Fournette, obviously in most leagues that have leagues similar to mine, Leonard Fournette is probably going to be your number 1 overall pick.
Truth.
So he'll have a productive career. But I think Corey Davis might be a little bit better. I think he's got he's going into a better situation than Leonard Fournette. He's going into a team that has a decent line, a good quarterback throwing to him. He's a big guy. He's got great hands. He can run a route. I think he's the best route runner in the draft. I think.
Who you talking about? Corey
Davis.
Davis? Yeah, I was Yeah, I mean, I was stuck on the running back. I'm like, route running for running backs. That's got to be Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, no, him and Mariota are just a bromance waiting to happen. They're gonna have so much fun in Tennessee.
Yeah. And even better, it's now you got Tennessee bringing in Eric Decker, who's going to take some of the pressure off of Corey Davis and probably some of the coverage that he was originally going to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I agree with you. He's one of my 3 that I put on my list here. Christian McCaffrey's another one, too, because I've been saying it since the draft. The versatility this kid has to run the ball, catch it out of the slot, and return kickoffs and punts really makes him deadly in the fantasy game. Definitely multi-tool player. He's going to be a guy I think I'm going to be playing a lot in DFS this year, depending on his usage. Obviously wait and see. The biggest rookie that I think I'm high on is Dalvin Cook in Minnesota. I really think he's going to have a dynamite year there.
I think he's the true starter already.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with Leonard Fournette as well. I think they're both going to be the true starters for their teams.
And I like Leonard Fournette a lot. I really do. In the show that we did for the draft, I had him picked as number 1.
Yeah.
But But Dalvin Cook, man, I mean, Tom's been selling me on him. He's high on this kid out of Florida State, I believe.
Yes, Florida State.
Absolutely. I think he's really set for a great pro career and, really might be the next big running back since Adrian Peterson left town now in New Orleans.
Yeah. But personally, my biggest guy, for definitely going to be great for PPR leagues is Mike Williams. Being drafted to the Chargers. I think, Phillip Rivers has been one of the best fantasy quarterbacks throughout the years. And I think, if we have a full healthy season of Keenan Allen with them two working together, I think it's going to be one of the best duos in the league this year.
Tutto bene.
I could see that. If you're talking immediate impacts, obviously Fournette, Dalvin Cooks are pretty much locks. They're going to be immediate impacts. Corey Davis is going to put up numbers. I'm on John Ross, though. PPR, non-PPR, this kid returns kicks. He can run the ball out of the slot receiver spot. More importantly, he's got, A.J. Green on the other side. And on the other side of him, because he's working out of the slot, he's got this other guy. Pretty good guy out there in Cincinnati. Pretty good.
I think he likes the color green.
I think he does.
Yeah, that does set him up, too, because, is A.J. Green going to get a lion's share of the targets? He absolutely is, but you can't throw the ball to him 100% of the time.
No, they have, what's his name on the other side? Now I can't think of the kid's name. I just had it on the tip of my – I just had it. I should have just said it.
Boyd?
Yeah, they have Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd, yeah.
They have Tyler Boyd on the other side. Add John Ross. John Ross is the best. I'm sorry. I love Corey Davis a lot. John Ross is definitely the best route runner in this draft class. Little guy, 5'10", but he's very Steve Smith-esque in that he does it all. He doesn't mind going over the middle, and he's the toughest dude on the field every time he's on the field. I always like a guy like that. You throw him in the slot with that offense, I think he's going to be the guy that's a sleeper. And I'll go one step further. The guy who's probably going to be the best rookie out of this class, and he probably won't even get to prove it this year, is going to be Jamal Williams. He's the BYU running back.
Green Bay, right?
Out of Green Bay.
Yes. You were high on
absolutely.
that kid.
I still love this kid.
Yeah.
I think by probably week 6, he's going to be the guy moving forward, just destroying fantasy football.
I just want to know how quickly the Rick Ross memes come out for John Ross. You're going to see it now. I tell you what. All right.
You'll see it after week 1 when he has 2 touchdowns and like a $120.
Absolutely. Looking at some dominant veterans that I think are going to continue to supply fantasy points for your team. Drew Brees coming off a 5,000-yard season. A lot of people are saying he's going to take a dip this year because Brandon Cooks is now in New Orleans. I am not one of these guys for one reason only. Michael Thomas.
Bingo.
Yep.
And you know what? Brandon Cooks had an off year, honestly. Compared to what he had the year before. He was, he still had great numbers, but he wasn't the Brandon Cooks that we saw. Obviously he's, the Patriots are probably going to have close to the number 1, if not the number 1 offense this season. But
they're the Patriots. They're always right there.
Yeah, they're the Patriots. So, but Drew Brees is obvious. He's probably top 3 every year fantasy quarterback.
Would you take a quarterback that's going to throw 4,500 yards? Because that's what he's going to do.
He's guaranteed.
He's going to form a bromance with Michael Thomas.
Exactly.
There's no doubt about it. And
exactly.
and in turn, Michael Thomas, who even with Cooks on that team last year, still posted 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. I think the touchdowns are going to go up this year. Potentially the yards, too, or maybe at least be in that 1,200 range. I think that makes him a really early to mid-round sleeper. And just a consistent stack with Breezy all day.
Breeze is going to be fine. He's still going to put up 4,500 yards between him and Snead, and he still has
Snead too. Yeah,
Willie Snead, and blanking on who they're
Graham. No, I
Graham's
lied. He's in Seattle.
Blanking on who his tight end is, but he.
Technically, it's Josh Hill right now, but they drafted a kid.
They did draft a kid.
Cody Fleener, I think, is there.
Oh, they picked up Cody Fleener last year, too. Yes, they did.
He still has plenty of options. They just brought in Adrian Peterson, and they still have Mark Ingram. So
they're going to run the ball a lot.
Correction, I did have sex with Katie.
And Scotty still doesn't know.
Yeah, I love that.
Drew Brees will be fine.
Yeah, he will.
I'm not worried about. I'm definitely not worried
Definitely.
about him. He's one of the best for a reason.
Another guy that's going to be fine coming back, to the NFL, this time in some black and silver in Oaktown, is beast mode. He returns. I think he's going to be a guy that will come back to supplying you fantasy points. He's rested from his year off, so to speak. And here's a kicker, guys. Born and raised in Oaktown, so he's really playing in the hometown. I think he's going to make that immediate impact for the Raiders and for your fantasy team. Get this, too. He bought a whole block of in Oakland for his family. The whole block. And then it was in a really bad, drugged-out area, too, of Oakland. It's not one of the nicer areas in California. He went out and he told all the gangbangers and dealers to just clear out. I bought this, clear out, go sell somewhere else, right? So you think, who the fuck are you? You're some football player or whatever. Their response, okay. Mm-hmm. And they just mad respect for Beast Mode because he rocks with his own crew. Yeah. And just that respect. I just thought I heard that story on the slide over the weekend. I just thought I'd bring that up on the show. But I think he will be a guy that maybe some people might be like, he might be a little old, long in the tooth, washed up. He's going to a great situation in Oakland, is he not?
He absolutely is. He's going ideal situation. I mean, he's going to his hometown. He lives in the town still. He still lives in Oakland. He basically still lives in the same hood he grew up in. Like, that's pretty nuts in today's day and age. Most of these dudes, they make some money, they gone. This is a guy, stand-up dude. He goes to a beat of his own drum. You don't hear about him in any of the nonsense off the field. Like, he just does his thing, you know what I mean? I got a lot of respect for that. That being said, though, I'm not sold on his fantasy production. I mean, you're talking about a running back who's been out of the league a year. Granted, he's come into a great situation, very good offensive line. But there's two other guys that need to get fed, So it's not. I don't see necessarily the.
Two?
That's two other guys.
Jalen Richards and what the hell's his name?
A Taiwan Jones or something.
No.
There's a reason why you're not remembering their names, because who in the blue hell are you, right? Latavius Murray's not there.
Well, no, but I mean these are the guys. But these are all three guys. All three of these running backs, including Latavius Murray, averaged over 4 yards a carry last year. I mean, all of these guys have their use. Jalen Richards, especially, very explosive. Big time playmaker. The other running back, I mean, the other running back just did damage, bro. Like they're decent running backs.
No, I'm not laughing at that. What I'm laughing at is that what I was going to say to counteract that is, but he's going to get a lot of second and goal to go. And this time they're going to run the ball.
Well, it's like the meme that they had him talking to Derek Carr, and he's like, so it was 2nd and 1 at that goal line.
I love when we posted that. That was beautiful. But, I mean, my point is, though, is that I think he's got a shot at double-digit touchdowns this year. I really do.
That's a lock.
Yeah.
That's a lock. I don't know if he gets 1,000 yards, though.
No, I don't think he gets 1,000.
Thank you, Washington. Yeah.
DeAndre Washington.
Oh, DeAndre? Yeah, he's yeah. I got it. No, DeAndre, definitely good talent. I actually drafted him last year. Yep. Look at some veterans who you think are going to drop off the map, who are going to get drafted too high this year. If that, rings a bell or it's a nerve. I got a couple guys in mind, but I want to hear from you guys first.
I missed the question. Sorry.
Paying
attention to that side of conversation going
veterans that are going to drop off the map and really come below where their ADP is going to be.
Real quick, people I think that are going to excel more real quick is Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Out in Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I could see that.
Other side of Mike Evans?
Yeah. I think that offense is going to be explosive this year.
I'm 5'9", and I think I could thrive on the other side of Mike Evans.
Well, I think he's only 5'9", too.
Oh, sweet. But a little faster than me, though.
I was about to say, you're probably a little taller even than Deshaun Jackson. He's a little guy,
He's a little
bro.
guy, yeah.
No, but a guy I could really see falling off this year, I see Julian Edelman. I see this is the beginning of the end for him. He's getting a little long in the tooth. I believe he's 34 this year. You saw it even last year when he was banged up. He just didn't have that type of season last year. I think he's all but shot at this point. I think Julian Edelman's donezo.
Yeah. A guy, same reasoning, Larry Fitzgerald, I think, is going to really come underneath his ADP. I think he dips below 1,000 yards receiving this year for the first time in 2 years. And it's just going to be coming off of, I believe he had 1,300 yards last year, or at least 1,200 yards. So that's going to raise his draft value. But I just don't see it because you either got old man Carson Palmer or their draft pick, Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes,
I love Mahomes.
We love it. We like a lot. And I think he might be the only rookie quarterback, even above Trubinsky or Watson that's going to make some noise if he takes on a starting role there. I just don't see the chemistry working out. Something tells me that do not draft Larry Fitzgerald. I'm staying away from him.
But the thing, I think that connection is still going to be good either way. I think Larry Fitz could probably still get 1,000 yards.
Yeah, you think he will go over 1,000?
Yeah, I mean, he will come close if he doesn't, and I still think he's going to grab at least 8 touchdowns. I think he still could. I mean, obviously David Johnson's going to have another hell of a year.
Yeah,
if he stays, injury prone.
Going for 1,000 and 1,000, right?
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, why not? And if Le'Veon Bell's another guy, if he could stay healthy all season, he probably would be close to 1,000 and 1,000 too.
Oh, absolutely, he would. Him, David Johnson, both those guys are ridiculous. Those guys are sick talents.
Who I'm higher on is John Brown, and I think John Brown is going to really take over the wide receiver 1 on this team and take targets away from Fitz.
I could see that definitely. The kid's tough.
Yeah,
I like tough receivers in general, especially smaller guys that are tough because you got to be.
Sure.
I don't know. That's a tough one, man. Like, who's your guys really gonna fall off?
Well, like I said, Larry Fitz. I'm saying Brandon Marshall. There's been a lot of hype on Brandon Marshall going to the Giants, not having to be the guy, being the wide receiver too. Well, let's look at that line of reasoning. He's going to be a wide receiver too. He's going to get less targets. ODB is just going to choke off his production. Right. And while he might be a decent wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3, his quarterback's Eli Manning, and I hate Eli, and I think he's horrible, and I think he's about as accurate as Tony Romo.
There's the star coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I'm not a big Eli fan either, but the one thing Eli Manning does do, he throws touchdown passes, bro.
Yeah,
Last time I checked, it doesn't really matter wins or losses or what the quarterback does. It only matters what the receiver's production is. And I think Brandon Marshall, despite the lack of receiving yards and maybe catches, double-digit touczdowns, easy.
Yeah, you think he's the red zone wide receiver?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, he's
6'4".
Yeah, truth.
I mean, I like it only because it's going to also open up Odell Beckham too. Mm-hmm. And they go and draft a tight end as well. So,
Esham, yeah. I was thinking of him too.
I think the offense is actually going to be a little bit better. Granted, they get the run game going as well.
They should have went with Njoku, but Esham's a good tight end as well. My third guy that I have in terms of dropping off the map is Jeremy Hill. I think Joe Mixon is going to take away the one thing Hill is really good at, and that's 1-yard touchdowns. Because that's going to be, Mixon's a big back as well, with speed. I think there's too many mouths to feed in Cincinnati with Gio Bernard. I know who is coming off injury, but still, that's always been his MO. He is going to get, a lot of passes from the backfield or what have you. I don't expect Jeremy Hill to finish the year with the Bengals. Even though this is his contract year, I think you try to move him to get what you can get from him before you have to pay him. And you have Joe Mixon and Gio Bernard.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that. I think it goes the other way, though. I think they move on from Gio Bernard. I think you keep Jeremy Hill just for those, you know what I mean? Because he is that unstoppable back. He's not a guy that gets stuffed on the one. His conversion percentage on those types of runs is very, very high.
So they want 2 of the same back, you think?
Well, no, because Joe Mixon has a lot more of a skill set. Joe Mixon can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Okay.
He has that ability. I mean, you saw it at Oklahoma State. With him running a lot of those swing passes and things like that. He's a pretty good route runner in his own right. Very good hands. I don't see Gio Bernard as being that type of game changer out of the backfield in terms of a pass catcher. He just hasn't done it yet in the league.
Truth. With 2 minutes left to go in the show, I'm going to throw out a late round sleeper. If you guys got any sleepers, match me or exceed me. Laquan Treadwell is a big wide receiver that I really liked from Minnesota last year. I like his prospectus this year. I know it's, Sammy Sleeves, but still he could throw it up there. I think they've gotten more chemistry together. Late round sleeper, you could do far worse.
I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. Tajay Sharp.
Yeah,
I love Tajay Sharp.
I already put up Deshaun Jackson. I think he's going to be more of a late round guy. If not, I don't know where you guys stand on Mohamed Sanu, but I don't know if he's so much more of a sleeper, but he's definitely a later round guy.
Yeah, he's a later round guy. I mean, I just love Tajay Sharp, like I said, UMass product.
Absolutely.
Big times.
Who are you sleeping on?
I'm with Doug.
Yeah.
Taze Sharp.
That's a lock then. You know what place isn't a sleeper? The BMW Atlantic City dealership. Don't sleep on them because they challenge their sales team and they must sell 100 vehicles, which means you save. So right now, lease certified pre-owned elite 2017 BMW 320i with xDrive, just $299 a month for 36 months. Minutes off exit 37 in the Garden State Parkway. Check them out online, bmwatlanticcity.com. For Matt Tensudi, Brian Daley, Mike Kleinkauf, Doug Pitchford, I'm Rob Povia. 3 o'clock in an hour, we're coming forth. Hockey Happy Hour, only on a2dradio.com.
Deuces.